What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, and I am glad that you're here. Now, today I want to talk to you guys about something that is very important. Now, we all aware of the Ukraine war versus Russia. Now, a lot of us don't understand the complexity of that war. Now, you, myself included, how do we prepare if World War III take place? Now, you can never be ready for something as big as that, but what you can do is mitigate the potential blowback that it might cause within your city, states, or nationwide. So things that you should definitely do to prepare for potential World War III. Now, it's not fear mongering. That's my disclaimer, but it's something that we should all be aware of. And here's a few things that I should definitely practice or do, and I think you should do the same thing too. So let's talk about the first thing. The first thing is training. Let's talk about training. Training is something that is important. That's why in the past I made a video about practicing your prep. Practicing your prep is a form of training. Go outside, use the axe or the knife or the fire kit or your first aid kit, and whatever you have purchased, whatever tool you have purchased, use it. See if it works and see what problem that it might have, and actually test your tent and go out and really do some form of training. If you have a bug out bag or a 72-hour bag or whatever, use it. Go out and walk with it, which a lot of people refer to rucking. That's what the military do. Just test out your bag and see what works and what don't work. Practice filtering water, practice starting fire, practice being without power for 1 or 2 days and see what can you do and what you cannot do. How would you survive in those scenarios? So training is important. If you're someone who's a 2A advocate, restock your ammo, clean your firearm, go to the range and put some leads down range and really be familiar with your firearm. Don't just let it collect dust, and really use your gun and do what you need to do to get that practice in. And remember, training will take you further than just picturing you doing it and thinking that they're going to retain. Retaining information is one thing, and physically doing it is another, which could develop second nature habit. So at the end of the day, training is important. Just practice with your prep, your food, rotating your food and eating your food, preparing your food, how you would get different meal out of that rice or that bean, and just understanding like, okay, training is key. So that's the number one thing I'll definitely say is focus on training and learning how to defend yourself. Pick up some sort of martial art techniques or self-defense class. I know self-defense sometimes don't always work in real life situation, but it's one form of defense that you may have in your back pocket of skills that you can definitely deploy in an emergency. So training is important. The next thing I want to talk about, which is number 2 on the list of suggestion, is fitness. Fitness is important because there's a lot of people in the prepping community who are prepping, putting food away and buying these great tools, but they are in the worst shape they ever been. So if you're someone who's out of shape, get in shape. And by getting in shape is like practicing and training, which is number 1, and going out and do what you need to do by exercising, join the gym, or start eating better so you can cut some of that weight out, or remove some of the crazy food that's in your diet and lose the weight and eat better. And exercising and doing physical fitness going to help you, because if disaster or calamity strike, in the case of a SHTF, you don't want to be out of shape and out of overweight and you can't really walk 5 miles or 10 miles because your health is not permitting you to. So that's why training, which is number one, and physical fitness, which is number two, is key. Those two things are like brothers and sisters, or a family that needs each other to operate. So consider that. Number three, equipment or tools. Equipments are important because once you acquire certain equipments or tools, will definitely take you a long way, because there will be tools that you acquire and you did not spend the money on it. You went cheap, you cheap out on it, and you will quickly realize, because it may not work to its full potential. And remember, you get what you pay for. So getting certain tools or equipment, test them out, maintain them. So you don't want to put a flashlight away for, well, better yet, let's look at something even crazier. Imagine that you put a generator away and you don't use that generator, or you don't test that generator for months or years, and disaster take place and you're ready to use that generator. Guess what? A lot of people don't understand that you must run and maintain a generator, and a lot of people lose great quality generator because they never run them since they bought them, or some of them they run it for maybe doing an emergency, but never keep the maintenance on it. So when a real disaster strike, they're trying to crank that generator. Guess what? It's not going to work. 80%, 90% of the time, it's not going to work because you didn't maintain it or use it every other month to keep, because it's mechanical. It's a mechanical, and anything that man-made will break. So if you don't maintain your equipments and tools, when disaster strike, you'll learn quickly that you do not have that piece of equipment or tool to use. So keep that in mind. Maintenance is key. All right, guys. Number four. Let's talk about number four. Number four is important, which is stockpiling food. Stockpiling food doesn't mean you become a hoarder. Stockpiling food have to have some sort of organization or structure of way of you going to do it. If you do not like beans, don't stockpile beans and thinking that you're going to eat it when disaster strike. So what you eat right now when times are good, buy that and store it away, and keep an inventory of what you have. And if you are going to eat some of it, make sure you do a daily cycle count and understand, okay, what's new and what's old, and do what I like to call FIFO, first in, first out. So rotating your food and making sure that it's not as expired, but if it is, sometimes it's still good after expiration date. But you be the judge of that, and you make that decision. So stockpiling food is important, but don't be a hoarder. Make sure that you're doing it correctly. Doing it correctly is whatever best work for you, but it has to have some sort of structure. All right, guys. So that's important. Number 5 is security measures. Security measure is important. That means you have to fortify your home, because that's your first line of defense. Your home has to be safe. It has to be secure, because that's where most of your prep is going to be at. So fortifying your home, having some sort of security protocol, which whatever it is, camera around your property, having a dog on duty, defending your home, or simply being ready if someone come into your home and whatever the disaster might be, whether there's martial law or riot going on, and someone decide to take matter to their own, or they decide that there's no rule of law and everybody's doing their own thing, at least you are prepared to a degree where you can defend your own and your house. That is important. Your home is important. It's your first line of defense. So consider that have a security measure in place, and it has to be complex and deep, because if your home get overtaken, you gotta have the next plan, where you're gonna go and what you're gonna do and how you're gonna do it. All that is important. A meeting place and where you're gonna meet, and if your family is separated, how you guys gonna get back in touch with each other. All that is important. There's a security measure, from learning who's gonna operate the firearm to keep the house safe and secure, and who's going to do what, who's going to have certain assignment to do if an emergency like that arises. So security measure is important. Who's going to be the scout, who's going to be on the lookout, because you cannot defend your home by yourself. So a security measure is important. Having a plan is important. And I hope that you're taking heed to that information. Do what you need to do to protect your home. All right, let's talk about number 6. Number 6 is important because a lot of us think that we are going to be able to defend our home by ourselves. And most of the time, I'll be the first to tell you, you cannot do it by yourself. And you need a team, whether it is a member of your family, where you have, so let's just say 2 different family comes together under one roof in the case of an emergency like that, where there's chaos in the street because of a warfare or whatever, if it's national or state level issue that's taking place, because with warfare you don't know what could happen. So having a team to depend on each other, or in the prepper community we call a MAG, mutual assistant group, where that group itself, that team itself, can definitely be a help to you, because you cannot do it by yourself. I repeat, you cannot do it by yourself. So having a team to help you structure and organize and put things together, having a plan together, will help you in an emergency. Last but not least, having a mental preparedness is important, because that will be the key to everything staying together. Because with mental strength, you will have resilient. Building resilient is key, where when things fail, you were able to maintain the overall function on how you're going to push forward, and understanding that having mental fortitude will keep you alive. And if you don't have that, you're gonna crumble, because if the mind is gone, everything else will fall apart. So having mental fortitude and mental preparedness will be the key to keep you alive, because war, again, is not something that we can predict. But one thing that we know for sure, that countries, people, and everything around that particular fight will be impacted. So whether it's increase in food prices, or whether it's the overall structure of a country coming down and things are going crazy, you never know. So the thing is to be alert and to be aware, and I hope those tips or suggestions can help you, or at least take the first step to being prepared in that particular area, because you never know. You don't know. So the best thing you can do is to be ready. And I'll say this to close everything: your preparation today, like I always say, your preparation today can save your life tomorrow. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys like the video. Please comment and subscribe, and come back. Let's talk about more topics in this particular topic. Tell me what you think. If this potential World War III if you think it's already started like me, I think it's already started. If not, let's talk about it in the comment below, and let's dig a little bit deeper and really explore how we can really help one another and whatever information you can provide down in the comment below, let's talk about it. Let's have the conversation. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time.